Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. Now, for the right candidates, this can be a phenomenal option to come to the United States and work in the United States for your startup company. Again, in this video, we're going to talk all about this, so make sure to stick around. Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ashuri and I'm a U.S. immigration lawyer based in Los Angeles, California. At my law firm, we work with clients from all 50 states and from all over the world. And we regularly post videos so that we can keep our audience informed of the latest immigration news and tips. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button now. Also, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up so that YouTube knows to share this information with more people. So as I mentioned in today's video, we're going to talk all about the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. This is a special immigration option for entrepreneurs that are working for a startup company. So in this video, we're going to talk about what the International Entrepreneur Parole Program is. We're going to talk about the benefits of this program, the requirements, and how somebody can go about extending their stay under the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. So I've created a presentation. Take a look at my screen and we'll go through this presentation together. Hey everybody, so what we have here is a presentation I prepared and I called it the International Entrepreneur Parole Program Explained by me, Michael Ashuri. So let's get started. So what is the International Entrepreneur Parole Program? This is a special rule that allows the Department of Homeland Security to use its parole authority to grant a period of authorized stay to foreign entrepreneurs on a case-by-case basis who demonstrate that their status in the U.S. would provide a significant public benefit. So I want to point out that the International Entrepreneur Parole Program is not a visa. It's a special authority, a special parole authority by the Department of Homeland Security to grant a period of authorized stay. So just wanted to clarify that point. So let's continue. So through the International Entrepreneur Parole Program, an entrepreneur who satisfies the requirements can come to the US and be eligible to work for their startup business in the US. Now we're going to go through the requirements later in this video, so make sure to stick around. And another important point, the spouse and children of the entrepreneur can also get parole to come to the US, and the spouse can apply for work authorization once in the US. So through this program, the spouse of the entrepreneur can also potentially apply and qualify for work authorization. So now that we talked about what the International Entrepreneur Parole Program is, let's talk about what the benefits are of the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. So benefit number one, this is another option for foreign entrepreneurs to be able to come to the US to work for their own business. We have options already like the E2 visa, the L1 visa, and various other options for entrepreneurs. But this is yet another way for foreign entrepreneurs to come to the US and work in the US. Another benefit is that the International Entrepreneur Parole Program doesn't require an investment from the entrepreneur the same way that other programs require, such as the E2 visa. So as we will see once we discuss the requirements of this program, the International Entrepreneur Parole Program does not require an investment by the entrepreneur. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, another benefit of this program is that it allows the spouse of the entrepreneur to apply for and potentially get work authorization to work in the United States. Additionally, this program allows the children of the entrepreneur to also get parole to come to the United States, and they are authorized if they qualify to attend school in the US. Another benefit is that this initial period of parole can initially be granted for 2.5 years, and it can also be renewed for an additional 2.5 years, giving the entrepreneur up to 5 years of stay in the United States. Another major benefit of the International Entrepreneur Parole Program is that Through this program, up to 3 entrepreneurs can come to the United States under this program to work for the same startup company. So this program isn't just limited to 1 entrepreneur per startup company. As we see here, up to 3 entrepreneurs can come under the same startup company. Okay, so now we discussed what the program is, what are some of the benefits. Now let's talk about some of the requirements to qualify under the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. So requirement number 1, the entrepreneur must own at least 10% of the business. So through the International Entrepreneur Parole Program, the entrepreneur that's seeking to qualify through the program only needs to own at least 10% of the business. Now, the entrepreneur must have an active role in the operations of the business. The entrepreneur can't just be some sort of a passive investor. They must have an active role in the operations of the business. Now let's move on. The startup company must have been formed within the last 5 years. So if this is a company that was formed 20 years ago, it's not eligible for this program. To qualify under this program, the startup company must have been formed within the last 5 years. Additionally, the startup must have substantial and demonstrated potential for rapid business growth and job creation. So this is one of the key requirements for this program. And you might be wondering to yourself, how do I show that the startup company has substantial and demonstrated potential for rapid business growth and job creation? Well, we're going to go through that right now. So as you can see from this slide, it's titled How to Show That the Startup Has Substantial and Demonstrated Potential for Rapid Business Growth and Job Creation. So one way to show this is by showing significant investment, at least $250,000 from qualified U.S. investors with an established track record. So if you can show that there has been investment made in your startup totaling at least $250,000 by qualified U.S. investors, then this is one way to demonstrate that this requirement is satisfied. Another way that you can show that this requirement is satisfied is by showing significant awards or grants of at least $100,000 from federal, state, or local government agencies. And yet, a third way that you can show that this requirement is met is by showing that you partially meet either or both of the previous requirements and can show other reliable and compelling evidence, such as being admitted to a competitive startup accelerator or other potential ways that you can show compelling evidence regarding the startup. Okay, so we talked about the program, what the program is, the benefits, and we also talked about the requirements. So now let's talk about how somebody can practically go about applying for the International Entrepreneur Parole Program. So step 1 is to apply by filing a form I-941, Application for Entrepreneur Parole, with USCIS. So the first step is to apply with USCIS. Now step 2 is once the form I-941 is approved, the next step is to visit a US consulate abroad to obtain a travel document. And after the travel document is approved, the next step is to appear at a US port of entry for your final parole determination. So this is step number 3 in the process. Now, an important point that I want to mention, Canadians do not have to go to a consulate to get a travel document. They can go directly to a US port of entry with their approved I-941. So now we're moving to our final part of this presentation. And what we're going to talk about here is how can somebody renew their parole under the International Entrepreneur Parole Program? And the way to do this is that, again, we'll read this slide here. It says, someone in the US on the International Entrepreneur Parole Program can apply for an extension of up to 2.5 more years to grow their company if the startup continues to provide a significant public benefit, evidenced by substantial increases in capital investment, revenue, or job creation. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please make sure to share this video with them. At our law firm, we're all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can watch this video that can benefit from this information, the better. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video.